have our three formulas for the special series. So sometimes if we come across a special series, we have a formula to use rather than doing finding the sum by hand. So if you have a rule of 1, a rule of I, or a rule of I squared, you can use these rules below to just have a nice shortcut to get that sum. So this first example, finding the sum from 1 to 15 of I. So that's that rule of I. And I know I have a formula to use for that. And so we want to make sure we're looking very carefully and picking the right formula. Between I and 1, it's really easy to accidentally pick the wrong one. So we know we want to use that. And the end value is going to be our total number of terms, which is 15. So we do 15 times 15 plus 1 and divide that by 2. We get 120 for that sum. This next one, we want to look at what the rule is, and it's rule of I squared, and that has a sum formula. That's this one over here. Our end value again is going to be our total number of terms, which is 12. So we're going to set it up and say 12 times 12 plus 1 times 2 times 12 plus 1, and we are going to divide that by 6. So 12 times 13 times 25 over 6. And we get 650. Alright, so the last sum for us to look at is from 1 to 24, and here's our rule of 1. Now what the rule of 1 means is every single term in this series is a 1. And if there's 24 terms, that means we're doing 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 24 times. And so that has a rule. Not a lot of math, or really any math to do on this one. We just need to recognize it. Our sum is going to be equal to however many terms we have, and we have 24 terms. So that means there are going to be 24 ones, and when you add those all together, the final sum will be 24. So on these, anytime you have to find a sum, look first to see if it's a special series, and then make sure you're being very careful between the rule of 1 and the rule of I. I just think they look really similar that we tend to mix those up sometimes.